Honor, this is the victim impact statement of Steven Kingsbury, Madeline's brother. Your Honor, it is a struggle to attempt to summarize on paper the immeasurable impact that this incident has had on our entire family. The murder of my younger sister, Madeline Jane Kingsbury, has created without a doubt a multi-generational wound that will take an untold number of years to heal. For some, it may never. The overwhelming grief and guilt of those closest to the situation, not only geographically, but those with intimate knowledge of the patterns of control and abuse exhibited by the defendant over the years toward Madeline, I'm certain will be haunted forever by the thought that their efforts, if made at all to intervene, were not good enough to defeat the evil that clouded her day-to-day life. The double life she lived was imposed by one individual. The meticulously thought out, painstakingly crafted, self-serving environment and mechanisms were created by leveraging her good nature, optimism, emotional weakness, fears, and love of her children. Madeline had everything to look forward to in life, a promising career path, and the joy of raising her children to adulthood, maybe even to see grandchildren of her own one day. There's truly no limit on how much of a gift she was and would have been to those who loved her, those she loved, and the world around her. Despite the conditions she endured, Madeline was making her way in the world in a very meaningful and impactful fashion. Simply put, she was robbed in the most permanent of ways: brutal, deliberate, hands-on violence. From my experience as a service member with 3 combat tours, I can without a doubt state with full belief and or opinion that the way she was stolen from this world was carried out with the most intimately savage intentions and actions a human being can visit on another. As involved and personal as it gets, and there are no half measures or fumblings if there's an end state in mind by the perpetrator. This was not for any cause other than self-centered fear, greed, embarrassment, and personal failings of the guilty party as a functioning member of society, partner, a father, and a man, being past and present extremely subpar in all these respects. What has happened is so complexly tragic that mentally unpacking and examining it all is an arduous labor with what at times seems to have no end. For many, there isn't one. The verdict in this case brings about some measure of closure, knowing what the sentence generally entails. But for most of us, closure is a hollow term. My parents have still lost a child, my siblings and I a sister. Most heart-wrenching, her 2 innocent children are robbed of their mother. Children are supposed to be innocent. In an effort to preserve this, they only know that mommy and daddy are both gone. They use words that have no meaning to them, as told to them by others, to try to understand concepts and realities that will have no true substance until they're old enough to be told what has transpired. It will always have to be considered the impact this will have on their lives, how it will potentially steer the course for the people they grew up to be. It's a challenge that will be constant for them in varying degrees. They will know of their mother, they will know what happened to her, and why she isn't there to shepherd them through this world in a way that only a loving mother can. No earthly atonement for her murder will measure up to match the gravity of the sin. It's my opinion that for any persons who commit a crime so specifically motivated by greed and the narcissistic need for control and who can for no justified reason snuff out another soul with such arrogance and casual disregard for life, there are no earthly works or repentance that can reshape said person's nature at its core for real change. That power lies with God alone. I submit in the end, all will be judged accordingly. We extend our utmost gratitude to all parties involved in bringing justice in accordance with our laws. It can never be understated how much our family appreciates all tireless, relentless work effort. Truth and right have prevailed regardless of obstacles. Let it be heard that everyone has the ability to create positive change in the lives of those around them. Actions are often greater than words. We have a responsibility to each other as human beings to take steps to intervene and assist in times of crisis, especially for those who are too broken or lost to advocate for themselves. I would like to thank the court for hearing this statement, Victim Services for reading it aloud in my stead, and all present to hear.